Possessor, the uncut version, is a Canadian horror science fiction film directed and written by Brandon Cronenberg. Now, I do enjoy David Cronenberg's work, and I have seen Antiviral, which is Brandon's previous film. He might have done something in between those two. But Possessor tells a story of a woman who is an elite assassin for a company, and she basically uses this, they use this cyberpunk sort of technology to hijack a person, use them to commit an assassination, and then usually end up doing a murder-suicide to cover it up. So the beginning of the film has this really creepy prologue in which a woman walks into a banquet sort of setting and then stabs a bigwig over and over. And then we get a peek at the woman behind the curtain. Asia Voss is one of the best because a lot of people who do this sort of job end up losing, their own mind of sorts, because you're always inhabiting other people. So they have to do this like decompression test after, and she's supposed to be like one of the best. So she's got this new job, probably one of the biggest jobs that the company will ever be able to do, because if they're able to pull it off, they can grow considerably in their own size. So Tasia also has a home life, separated from her husband, a strange son, and while she's doing this new mission, things are going a little bit on the wrong side. Where Possessor falters is the sort of third act. So the story doesn't quite pan out, and it feels like it doesn't have much to say. Also, the gore aspects are turned up to 11, like just straight up. Like the first opening, if you thought the opening kill was crazy, this movie just goes all out and a little excessive. I like the sort of creepy psychedelic imagery that the movie has to show her taking over a host. And I also like the sort of murder mystery aspect, because the target that she inhabits fights back and gets a little bit of control back. So every time he wakes up, there's a new dead person around him, and they don't really explore his character enough. And he's not the main character, so it's kind of like a little bit jarring, because he's just what are his stakes in this? And then the movie does have really great visual effects, though. I mean, the design of the machine and everything, and they did this cool thing with a wax body melting to show like her taking over the host. That was like probably the most visceral and memorable part of the film. The acting is really good from everyone as well. The story isn't amazing, but I didn't really like the third act at all. I mean, it was going, in a certain weird direction, and then I felt like the movie ended a little bit abruptly. If it kept going on for maybe another 10-15 minutes to give us a few more closed loops, then I think it would have been a much tighter film, even closer to a masterpiece. But as is, though, it's a pretty ambitious, interesting piece of filmmaking. It's definitely unique. It's definitely in the vein of his father's work, but it's also, really creepy. So I liked it, and I give Possessor a 7 out of 10.